So here's John Stewart. He's interviewing a Republican representative, and they are talking about gun control. And one of the things that John Stewart says is that the leading cause of death among children in the United States is firearms. He's not the only one that said this. Senator Chuck Schumer has said the same thing. I've seen a lot of my liberal friends repeat the same talking point, and I want to take a look at that. I want to see, is that actually true? So, where are they getting the idea that the leading cause of death for children in the United States is firearms? Well, they're getting it from the CDC. Here is a good summary of the CDC's findings. So, current causes of death in children and adolescents in the United States. You have some numbers here, but it's all kind of summarized in this very helpful chart here. And you'll see here 2020, that's the most recent data. And at the very top is indeed firearm related injuries or firearm related deaths. Now, this is deaths per 100,000 children and adolescents, and it has finally taken over motor vehicle crashes or car accidents, basically. Now, one thing to note here is that car accidents, for decades, this chart starts at 1999, so literally for decades, the leading cause of deaths for children and adolescents was car crashes. And this is an important point to keep in mind is when it was the leading cause for deaths among children, did you ever hear people like John Stewart, people like Chuck Schumer pushing for some kind of regulation for motor vehicles? No, you did not. I did not. I have never heard that. If they ever did make such a case, it wasn't as loud and as vehement as they are doing it for gun control. But now that firearms or guns are the leading cause for deaths for children and adolescents, now they want to push that. Now they want to make it a talking point. But one thing that we need to critically examine here is how they are defining children. So, children and adolescents are defined as persons 1 to 19 years of age. Now, I don't care that they have actually added 19 to it. 18 is, an adult. So that they added 19 is not a big deal. But what is a big deal is that they only started at the age of 1. They didn't start at birth, or they didn't even start at conception. Once you add those numbers in, does that change the graph? Does that change what the numbers are? Does that change who's in the lead for leading causes of death for children and adolescents? Yes, it does. So, what is the leading cause of death for children under 1? So, the CDC causes for infant mortality for 2020. So, this is updated information. Number 1 is birth defects. Number 2 is preterm birth. Number 3 is sudden infant death syndrome. And number 4 is injuries. Now, what the CDC did for their previous graphs for ages 1 and up is they included in the injuries title or in the injuries tag firearm deaths. So if there were firearm deaths for infants, it would be under injuries, but you can see it's number 4, not number 1, 2, or 3. Click here. What are the mortality rates for the 10 leading causes of infant deaths? So we see, so this is infant deaths per 100,000 live births. That's 100,000 babies. The number 1 cause is congenital malformations. Per 100,000, it is 114. What was it for ages 1 and up for firearm related deaths? So this is per 100,000. So the scale is the same. It is at about 6. So 6 versus 114. Once you add the leading cause of deaths for children under the age of 1, congenital malformations blows it out the water. It's not even close. So once you add that data in, firearm related deaths are not the number 1 cause of deaths for children in the United States. Not at all. And this isn't even including abortion, which I think should be in here. But that's another topic. Thanks for listening. If you like this video, share and subscribe. If you hate me and disagree, let me know in the comments. I'd like to have a conversation.